Hello and welcome to Rick's Garage. So today is part 5 in a multi-part series covering the engine bay restoration on my Alfa Romeo GTV V6. See you in a minute. So yes, welcome back to the channel. First of all, before we begin, I do apologise, but this is a heated garage. I am built for comfort, and what I tend to do is just wander into the garage in my PJs and my slippers. I just can't help it, but I'm comfortable and I'm happy, so why not? So yeah, please do look past it. So yeah, anyway, now I've had a bit of a setback with the project. Not the car, with me personally, because as I talk to you now, unfortunately, I do have the dreaded COVID-19. Now, this doesn't come as a surprise because both my 11-year-old son and my 3-year-old daughter have both had COVID over the past 14 days. Both me and my wife have been tested every day and tested negative. However, Sunday just gone, I woke up in the morning and tested positive, and it's just the way it is. I feel fine in myself, just a little bit, a little bit off, but generally I feel fine, a bit tired and fatigued, but yeah, otherwise I feel fine. I can't complain, to be honest. But obviously this means I can't go to work, I can't go out of the house. I had lots of parts to drop off at the blasters, I had lots of parts to drop off at the zinc platers, and I can't do any of it. So yeah, a little bit gutted, but it's just the way it is, isn't it? But I've got a few jobs that I wanted to do on the car anyway, so this is the opportunity for me to get this done. One of which is the air conditioning pipes on this car are looking very, very grotty, and when everything else is done in the engine bay, it was just going to let the side down, and I've been looking at them thinking, I'm going to do them. So this is what we're doing in this episode. So yeah, if you're doing the same kind of project as me and you are looking at your AC pipes and thinking, this could be a video for you, or if not, and you've got lots of metal parts that you may need cleaning up or polishing, especially aluminium parts, then you may find this video useful. If not, you may just find the video entertaining, so I hope you enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get the aircon pipes off the car. So the first job in removing the AC pipes is to remove this 8mm Allen bolt. I will be setting this bolt to one side and getting it zinc plated with the rest of my hardware, because if I'm getting a batch done anyway, why not? So that is now off. Now you've also got this pipe that is attached to the other two with a little plastic bracket, but that just comes off very easily. Now you've got one pipe which goes up to the AC condenser at the front of the car, and then you've got this second pipe that runs around the side up to the lower of the two clamps just here. Now what I've also got is one pipe that I've previously cleaned up here already, that is already removed from the car. So yeah, the plan is to get the rest of them looking similar to this. So don't forget, we are focusing on the lower clamp at the moment. To split the pipes, it is just one 10mm nut. Just crack that off and then the pipe will come away, or should come away, with ease. So this is that little plastic clamp, guys, that holds 3 pipes together. Just unclips nice and easy. Obviously the pipe work is much easier to remove when you've got absolutely nothing on the front of your car. So off it comes and straight onto the bench it goes. And it's as easy as that. Okay guys, so this now is 2 out of 3 AC pipes removed from my Alfa. Now there is one more still on the car, but at the moment I've got 2 on the bench. Now this one is one I did a couple of days ago. That is what they all should end up looking like. They don't look like brand new, it isn't perfect, but I hope you'll agree that it looks a hell of a lot better than this one. Now this is the biggest piece. There is 2 pipes on here, they are connected together at the end. Now as you can see, yeah, they are looking, aesthetically not very pleasing. The insulation, the ducting is all split and looking very, very shabby. Now the plan is to completely clean these up as much as I possibly can, and at the same time I'm also going to be replacing this ducting, this insulation. Here I have got a Gates duct hose. Now this cost me around £10, guys. Now the size of this, what I bought, is 35mm by 1000. It starts off quite small, but when you extend it, it is twice the length, and it's more than enough to completely recover these pipes. But yeah, 35mm. It's not the exact same size as this. I mean, I think the ducting on these aircon pipes is more like 30, but it's near enough. And as I say, it's going to look a lot better than what these do. So that is the plan. Now, I believe, I don't know how correct it is, but I believe that these aircon pipes are now discontinued from Alfa Romeo, and these are extremely hard to get hold of. Now, they do look okay visually, but obviously there's no way for me to check these pipes until I get it hooked up onto a machine to test them and test the whole air conditioning. But as I say, visually they look okay. No, my air conditioning wasn't working when I bought the car, but I do suspect that is a condenser. So obviously I will be replacing that. I can get one of those for around 25 to 35 pounds. So yeah, I will be replacing that. But visually, you know, these pipes do look okay. If I spot something untoward or something that's going to cause a problem, then obviously it's game over. But at the moment, they do look okay, but we shall see how we get on. Now, what I'm going to do for the finish of these, now lots of people may attack these with a wire wheel, but that is just going to be too much and it'll just rip up the aluminium. But what I'm going to use is a red Scotch pad. Now, the Scotch pad is abrasive enough, more than enough to completely clean these pipes up. And what I'm going to do is use these on the end of a flexi, on the end of my Dremel or multi-tool or rotary tool, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's worked wonders on this little one. So yeah, that's what we're going to do now. We'll see how we get on. I'm pretty excited. I love doing stuff like this. Now, obviously I can't leave the house, as I say, so yeah, these are the kind of jobs I'm going to have to get on with. Now, obviously it's pointless doing lots of cosmetic work on the engine bay and not paying attention to stuff like this. So yeah, this needs to be done. So let's crack on. Okay, so the first thing that I've got to do is completely remove all this old tatty insulation. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, you may notice that straight away this creates a problem because the insulation, not only can it not be slid off from either end, this also means that I can't slide on the new insulation with ease. Obviously at one end you've got the two pipes connected, and at this end you've also got two fittings. So yeah, the insulation can't be slid off. Obviously this stuff is fitted when the pipes are assembled, when they are new. Now obviously this creates a little bit of a problem, as I say, when it comes to fitting the new insulation. The only thing that I'm going to have to do is make a nice clean cut all the way along one side, pop the insulation over the pipes, close it over, and then fit some nice stainless steel wraps around it. That should hold it, make it very secure. But obviously, needless to say, no matter what I do, it's going to look a lot better than what this stuff does right now. So yeah, that is the first job. Cut off this old insulation. I should be able to do that with a pair of scissors. And then what I'm going to do is get the rotary tool set up with the Scotch pad, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do there. So yeah, for now, let's get these off. So the pipes, or at least the rubber parts of the pipes, you know, they are in very, very nice condition. Quite surprised, to be fair. There's no splits, tears or anything, any areas of concern. So yeah, these should come straight up. You can buy little Scotch attachments for your rotary tool online, but they're not the cheapest little thing. The easiest thing to do is this. Oh yeah, this is what I've always done, and it works extremely well when it comes to cleaning up metal. Now yes, this will wear down fairly quickly, guys, but you know, you've got a full sheet of that, and yeah, away you go. As I say, this will wear down fairly quickly, but you know, just keep putting another piece on, keep going with it. It's really, really easy. So this is going to be a little bit noisy, guys, so I'm going to cut the sound, and away we go. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with these pipes now. I've gone as far as I'm willing to go with them, or I've spent as much time as I'm willing to spend on them. Now I do appreciate that using the red Scotch Brite on the end of my Dremel made it look very, very easy, quite satisfying if anything, but it was a little bit more involved than just using that. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so as you can see, yeah, they come up pretty good. Not perfect, but you know, I wasn't going for perfection. It's not really something that can possibly be achieved unless you spend hours and hours and hours on end. That isn't, you know, as I say, perfection isn't something I was looking for. I just wanted to clean these up as much as possible, make them look a hell of a lot better. And I'm pretty pleased with how they come out, to be honest. Now, obviously, I do need to replace the insulation, which I'm going to do in a minute. But yeah, just quickly, as I say, using the Scotch or the red Scotch on its own wasn't quite enough for a lot of areas. Obviously I then went to a coarser grade. I went with the grey. That was a little bit better, but for some areas what I had to use was some steel wool, or in this case a Brillo pad, and that worked very, very well. Once I'd done the Brillo pad, what I then did was went over it with some grey Scotch and then finally some green Scotch, and I just did that by hand. What I also did when I come to the green Scotch was use a little bit of WD-40, and it works an absolute treat. So yeah, there you go. Now you may have seen me, I also used for some bad pitting, I used a little bit of sandpaper as well. You may have seen me using that. So yeah, I did a little bit of everything, and I just clean them up as much as I possibly could. What I also did was clean up the AC compressor as well. I decided to just remove that and give that a little tidy up as best as I can. Now, as you can see, it is quite grubby. It was pretty much needed. Now, again, I didn't go to town on it, but you know, I hope you'll agree it looks a lot better. I'm quite pleased with that, to be honest. Now, I did try and avoid rubbing off that sticker as much as I possibly could, but you know, I did end up rubbing a little bit of it off. Not that it matters, but yeah, that's come up very, very well. As well as that, I also did this pipe as well. As you can see, this was also in need of some TLC. This is what that one come up like. Not too shabby. Yeah, I'm, you know, pretty pleased. Again, it's not perfect, but it looks a hell of a lot better. Then obviously we've got that little pipe, which I started off with as well. So yeah, all in all of this stuff is looking much, much better. But the one last thing to do, guys, as I say, I need to put the insulation back on these two largest pipes. So let's crack on with that. Okay guys, so the insulation is now on, everything is here together. Now the insulation, I'll be honest, I am going to share the bad as well as the good. The insulation part didn't go as well as I'd hoped, because as soon as I started cutting it, this stuff just started falling to pieces, unfortunately. So it hasn't gone exactly to plan, but it's okay, it serves a purpose. I didn't need the stainless steel tie wraps in the end, because what I did is just squoze it onto it. But yeah, it's okay. It, as I say, it hasn't gone as well as I'd hoped. I wanted a nice clean straight piece of tube on each one, but yeah, it serves a purpose. I don't know if I'm going to live with that or swap it for something else, I don't know, but again, that's just my OCD kicking in. But overall, these have all cleaned up very nice. Again, it isn't perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than what it was. I hope you'll agree. But yeah, that is it for now. So there you go, guys and girls, this little job is now finished. It's only a little improvement, but all these little improvements go together to make a big difference under my engine bay. They're going to look so much better now. I'm a little bit, you know, annoyed the way the insulation has gone. That didn't go as well as I'd hoped. Whether or not I'm going to live with this, I don't know. I may end up buying something else and putting it on there, but yeah, I just can't help it. It's OCD. It's just got to be right. It's not wrong, but it could be better. Do you understand what I mean? But yeah, I'll try and sleep tonight. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you very, very much for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.